Hey everybody, welcome to a live art city with me, Angela. Today we're going to be doing a fun little project. It is a woodland creature portrait, 3D portrait actually. It's a rainy day here in the Midwest. So the things you're going to need are scissors. You'll need a white pen or a white pencil. You're going to need markers, a regular pencil. You're going to need an egg carton, this type preferably. You're going to need a paper bag or craft paper or cardboard to use. And you're also going to need a cardstock. If you don't have cardstock, you can use a white paper or you can use watercolor paper, which is what I'm using because I don't have cardstock right now. Also, you're going to need hot glue and a hot glue gun. Let's get started. This is what we're making today. We're doing this little beaver portrait project. Okay, so let me move down my camera so we can get a tabletop view of the project today. Okay, let's see if that works. If it does not, I will fix it. Move this just a little. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. Start off with, you're going to need to take your egg carton. Move all your stuff out of your way if you can. I'm going to put these in a container because they're just too much right now. Let's get a container and put my things in so it's not in my way. There we go. Now I'm going to set this aside. Okay, take the egg carton and your scissors. Okay, and then the next step is you're going to figure out how you want your little face to look. So I wanted to use just one of these, and that's what I'm going to do. You could, if you wanted to, you could do like eyes on it, like bigger eyes, but I wanted to make this look like just the whole head. Okay. And here, I'm going to pull up my City Museum chat area so I can see who's talking to me really quick. All right, there we go. Okay, so now you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut the head out of your egg carton. Figure out how you want it to look. You don't want to go too far in, like when you're cutting, or too far up, because then it'll leave a gap when we hot glue it down. Is that? These are really hard to cut. So you gotta be easy with it. You could probably tear it, but when you tear it, it's not as precise. So you gotta be careful with that. Also, I also find that doing it on the end is a lot better, but I'm gonna try this one just to see. If I don't like it, I'll redo it. And try to get one that doesn't have a hole in it. So maybe I should cut one like this that doesn't have a hole. See how it's got little holes in it? I mean, you could work around it, but it's easier if you use one that doesn't have it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna tear this whole thing apart here. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna move all that out of the way. You could probably even use the bottom part of them. See that? If you wanted, do that too. All right, and put this aside. There's good. Okay, cut the rest out. We can modify as we go, all right? Now see how I have the flat side still on there? Then you want to go around and cut those off. If you want, you could leave it like this, so it looks like it has the bridge of a nose right there. That's up to you. Or if you don't want to do it like that, you could do it like this, to where these are the sides and this is a flat part of the head, like I did with this one. Okay. All right. Just cut off the little flats. Figure out how you're going to want it to sit. Maybe I could do that. No, I'm going to do it the way I did the other one. Okay, so next is you're going to put this aside. The next step is, and put these aside because you're going to need this to make ears later. Don't throw those away. For those of you just joining, we're making this little beaver portrait out of egg carton. It's a 3D portrait. Okay, now you're going to need your paper bag, or I have brown craft paper. It's like a paper bag. Same type of material. And then you are going to cut a square out. Don't have to be perfect. We're not going to keep the square. It's just to make your bag smaller. Whatever. If you have a small paper bag, lunch bag, then you probably don't even have to cut the square. Really. All right, next step is you're going to kind of fold it. Try not to crease it too much. I mean, mine already has like little crinkles in it, but... And then you're going to cut an oval or a circle out of it. Now my other one, it's bigger at the bottom than it is at the top, and I think I want to do that with this one too. I'm going to try it. Yeah. See how I did that? It's kind of bigger at the top than, kind of smaller at the top than it is in the bottom. I like the way that looks. All right. Now, once you have that done, your next step is to take you don't need no more of the bag. You could set that aside because that's the only thing we need. While I'm talking about this, you need to plug in your hot glue gun. So it'll be heating up while we're doing this step. Okay, now you're going to take your markers. I have markers here. I am going to use, for this part, you need a black marker and a dark brown marker, or some sort of brown marker. So if you look, this is the part we're doing now. So you need black and brown. And this, it's not super dark, but it's dark. Okay? Now, if you don't have markers, you could probably use colored pencils on this. I did not try it with colored pencils, but you could probably do that. And the first step is to take the brown marker. Now, I have a double-ended marker, and these markers are alcohol markers. They're my personal markers. I love them so much. And they're from Arteza. And I always talk about these markers. They are my favorites. One of my favorite art supplies I have right now. And one end is a chisel tip. And then the other end is what they call a bullet tip. Okay? So you can get your fine details on it. So I'm going to take my chisel tip. If you don't have that and you just have Sharpie markers, this will work fine. With the Sharpie marker, you'll do on the side instead of the very tip. Okay? All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your marker and you're going to start going around the edge of the circle. Now, I like sometimes with these because sometimes if you don't push hard enough, do you see how it did that? If you don't push hard enough, it'll leave like not the full effect of the chisel tip. And that's what I like, because then it makes it look like a little wood slice, like it's weathered. You know what I mean? So let up a little bit on your marker every once in a while, and don't do super hard. And if you don't do super hard, then it'll give like the weathered look. And I'll put this up closer to the camera when I'm done. Okay. Now, if you see what I mean, see how it's left little spaces and things like that? And that's really cool. I like that look. All right, once you have that done with the brown, the next step is we're going to take this marker, and I'm going to use the thinner tip on this one. So if you have a thin tip, Sharpie or whatever you have, if you have super tip markers, like Crayola super tips, these are awesome too, because you can mark from the side, and it'll make a big line, or you can do from the top and it'll make a fine line. Okay, So if you have only those, you can use those and they work just as well. I just prefer my alcohol markers. Okay, and then you're going to take this and you're going to go around the edge of this, just around the edge, okay? Remember, don't do this on your table. Put something over your table unless you have a work table and you don't mind. Now, look what I did here. You see how can you see that? Oh, there we go. See how that's kind of jagged? It's okay if you do that. No biggie. Just keep going around. Little mistakes with these it's okay because, you know, wood slices, when you're slicing a piece of wood, it's not perfect. There we go. Just follow it around. Now this one, where that edge, where I told you that the marker didn't go down all the way, the brown, I took that black and I put in where that marker didn't go down. So I need to fill this one in too. See that? So I'm going to fill. Hey, for those of you just joining, I noticed that I'm having a lot of people join. This is the project we're doing today. We're doing this little 3D beaver art project, portrait. Okay, and then I'm just going to continue around. All right, now, once you have that all outlined, the next step is to, see how I have it all outlined? The next step is to draw like little lines in it, okay? So we had that one that I told you, oh, just fill that in. Then you're just gonna start putting lines, kind of make them look like, you can make them look like little V's or like little wedges, so that makes it look like the tree bark, right? So that's the next step. And you don't want to do that all over the whole thing. You want to just do it sporadically, okay? I'm going to try to zoom up just a little more. Maybe that'll help with what I'm doing here. Oh, yeah, that's better. Trying to find where I'm at. There we go. That's better. Okay, and then you're just going to keep going around, adding some lines. Make some shorter than others, some longer. So it really looks kind of like a little wood slice. Let me pull this camera up a little bit. Is that going to show? Oh, yeah, that's a little better. Okay. Work in progress. Now see how I did that? All the way around. All right, and then once you get your little lines done, now if you notice, some of them I make them look thicker. So I did that. You want to do that and give it inconsistency with it, with the wood slice. All right, let me zoom out now. Okay, next step is your circles, your little lines to make it look like wood, okay? So you're gonna take, if you have a big tip, any little tip, then you take the big tip first, and you're going to draw a circle all the way around. Try to keep it as even with the paper circle that you cut. And keep doing that all the way around. Now, rings in trees, if you don't know, is the age of the tree. So like if you could sit and count all the rings, you would know how old the tree is, because I believe every ring is a year. I think. You might have to look that up. But I'm thinking. I think that's what I learned. In some years, you could tell in the tree whether it was sick or not. I don't know if you know this, but that's the same way with your fingernails. If you feel your fingernails and you feel like a little ridge right there that goes across, that is, well, so I heard, don't take my word for it, look it up, that you had maybe an immune deficiency during the growth of your fingernail. If I'm wrong, correct me, but that's what I've always heard. Okay, and then you want to take your bullet tip, your thinner of your markers, and you want to start going around in between the thick ones that you just did. So now we're going to do all over that. Okay. For those of you just joining, we are doing this little 3D beaver portrait today out of an egg carton. And just keep going. Now, more than likely, you're not going to see the middle because you're going to put that in there, but I like to do it just in case. I decide maybe to stick it in a different area of the wood slice, but knowing me, I won't. Okay, almost done. I love working with wood grains. It's my favorite type of art that I do. Okay, now that's done. Now we have our wood slice. Yay. Okay, next step is to take your white cardstock or white paper that you have, and you're going to figure out how you want your wood slice to sit, and then you're going to glue that little sucker onto your paper. So you're going to put some hot glue all around here on the opposite side, or if you have tape, you know what, if you have tape and you don't have hot glue, you could probably use tape as well for this. As far as sticking the little guy together, or little girl or little whatever character you're doing, you could maybe use double-sided sticky tape if you don't have hot glue. Okay, so next step, take your wood slice and stick it on the paper, nice and flat. And that's what I have now, okay? And then you're gonna cut this part off if you have extra, okay? So figure out where you wanna cut it. So fold your paper over. You wanna make it even on the other side. And there we go. That's not completely even. All right. And just cut that extra off. If you want, you can cut the extra off up here too, which I'm probably going to do because I don't want it that thick at the top. I want it to kind of be even with the sides a little bit. So I'm going to do that as well. Here maybe. All right, there we go. Now, on to the next step. The next step is to take your pencil, which I have sitting right here. Let me try to zoom up a little bit because you will have to see this. Okay, a little more. All right, the next step is to take this little egg carton piece that you cut, and you're going to set it on your, just set it there, okay? And then right where you have it setting, you're going to draw two little notches right there. You see that? See how I did that? Two little lines. All right. Now that is to show where the neck of your creature is. It's hard to see that, ain't it? Maybe I can try this here. Maybe. Okay. See that? See those little notches? Okay. Once you have that done, now you can do the rest. So the next step is to draw kind of an oval. And I'm going to pull it up here to the camera just so you can see a little closer. See how I did that? It's the sides of an oval, not the actual whole oval, but you're doing just an arc like that. Leave that there for a second. All right. Now, once you have that, the next step is to draw. Oh wait, the next step is we're going to set this aside and we're going to start on the head, okay? Oh, I'm trying to get this where it's just perfect. I want it just perfect. Okay. All right, the head. Now, I'm going to take my marker. If you don't have marker and you're using paint, you can do it with paint as well. Markers. These are the colors I am choosing. Okay. I'm going to use the dark brown, or black, I'm sorry. I'm going to use the black bullet tip to draw the eyes on, okay? And the eyes I'm going to put right here on the ridge of the face. Now, for those of you just joining, I have a lot more people. We are doing this little beaver portrait wood slice. My sister says it's a homesteader. That's what she thinks it looks like. Okay. Draw your eyes. Figure out where you want your eyes. I'm going to do my eyes right here on the ridge, just like I did the other one, because I think that's cute. And then you want to make sure you get it even on the other side, okay? I may have done that other side bigger. And then once you have that, the next step is to draw your little pupils, however you want those to look. Try and make it even on both sides. If you have paint, do paint. And then, so that's what I got so far. Then you're going to do the nose. So just follow along with the top of the nose there with the carton right there on that ridge. And then bring it down with the rounded sides. All right, and then color it in. And then you're going to give it a line. So that's what it looks like so far. That's cute, huh? All right, and then we're going to cut out some little ears for it. So next step, you're going to take this little carton that you had, this extra stuff, and we're going to cut out ears. And basically, you're just going to take it and you're going to cut a small, teeny tiny little oval, because beavers have little bitty, teeny tiny ears off their head. They're not big, okay? Teeny tiny. You're going to cut one, and then you want to cut one more. Try and make them even. There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then once you have that done, your next step is to, this is kind of tricky. You really gotta take your time on this part. You want to take your ears, okay, and take your little bullet tip, and you want to, it might help if you tape it to the table, actually. That might work a little bit. Anyway, but you're going to take your bullet tip marker, or the tinier part of the marker, or your Sharpie, whatever you're doing, and thank you. I thought it was cute when I was creating it today. All right, and then you're gonna just draw a little little ears, like little ear holes. And then do that on the other side. You want to do that on this one too. Okay, there we go. Now I have my 2 ears. Now the next step is to glue these onto the head. Now beaver's ears are right behind their eyes, here. And they sit kind of not sideways like that, but they sit kind of up a little bit. So you're going to take your hot glue that you plugged in at the beginning of this tutorial, and you're going to put a little bit of hot glue right behind the ear, the eye, and you're going to glue it on like that. And do that on the other side. Ha! How cute. And then, once you have that done, we got to work on the teeth. So you're going to take another piece of this, and this part right here, I just use that. So it's already flat, so I just cut that out. And then you can make it smaller as you go. And then you kind of want to make it angled a little bit. And then cut these down because you don't want them too super tall. And so this is what I got so far. And then you're going to put it up next to the beaver face and see how big it is and how little you need to make it, okay? So I need to make mine smaller because the teeth are just too big. Too wide, I mean. They're too wide. And just work with it until you get the right shape that you like. And then they are going to get glued onto there. But before we do that, you're going to take your marker again, the small tip, and you're going to outline that like we did the ears. And then when you get to this part of the teeth, you're going to put like a little line there and bring it up. And this is what it looks like. And then we're going to glue that onto here. Okay? Now, actually, if you have a white pencil or a white pen and you want to color these teeth right now, you should do it now before we glue it on. So I have a white pencil, so I'm also going to color these if it'll work. I'm hoping it'll work. Yeah, it's working. You could use the white pen too, but I wanted to try the pencil because I didn't try it on the other one. I actually forgot that I had this pencil until a while ago when I was like, oh yeah, colored pencils. Okay, and then just put a glue dot, glue that right on. So glue dot right here. There we go. And on. Those are some big teeth. He's ready to chop some wood. Okay, now we can glue it onto our body that we drew, right? Side. Now I'm done with all that. I don't need any more of that egg carton, so the rest of it goes in the trash, unless, of course, you want to do 2 of these, because, as you can tell, I did the little girl one, and now I'm doing the little boy one. Okay, so glue your head onto the body. That's the next step. So what you want to do is you want to put glue all around the edge of this carton where it's going to touch. And then stick it on the body. So it should look like this now. You zoom out just a little bit. So that's how we should look And then we're going to get rid of any extra hot glue that may be sticking out before it dries all the way. Next step is to take your pencil and draw your clothes on the body of your beaver. To do that, you're going to make a V. Actually, I did that backwards. Erase that. Sorry. You're going to make a V right here. Right? Upside. You're going to make a triangle. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. A triangle. So take it and make a triangle right there. See how I did that? Half a triangle. Not a whole triangle. And I'm going to refine this a little bit here. Okay, once you have that, the next step is to pull it like that. Same with this. Kind of following the lines of your tree a little bit. We can erase a little bit of that off because I made that too big. On mine anyway. And then you're going to take this part right here in the middle and you're going to pull it up. Right? No, that's not right either. Sorry. I have my little example that I drew so I would remember. You're going to pull it over. Same as the other side. And then, now see how I did that right there? That's what you're going to do. So then pull this over and up. And then you can erase these little lines of the body right there. Okay? Erase that. You can make the collar smaller if you want, because I probably made the collar just a little too big. So make it a little smaller. I'm drawing upside down, so sometimes I can't. It's harder to do. Okay. Now that I have that done, the next step is to draw a little arms for it. So you're going to do arms that start right here about, and just down. Just draw them down. He's just going to have teeny tiny little thin, skinny little arms. That's it. And then we're going to give him a belt. So I'm going to follow that little line right there, and I'm going to give him a little waist. And then do another one. And then loops. I'm going to give him 3 belt loops. See that? 1, 2, 3. And then that's it for now. Next step. Next step is taking your marker. Now I'm going to use the dark brown that I have. If I can figure out which one's the dark brown. Here it is. I'm going to take the dark brown and I'm going to outline all of what we just drew. So don't do it directly on the pencil because ink doesn't like to stick on pencil. So do it right next to the lines. Because then you can go back and erase the pencil. Okay, same with the belt. And then don't forget the loops. And then don't forget your collar. So next is the collar. My collar's a little messed up. One's smaller than the other. That's okay. It looks cute like that. He's not perfect. And then after that, if you have neck space, draw the neck. And then the next step is to give him little pockets. So just make little lines right there for little pockets. And then you want to give him a tie. So little teeny tiny rectangle, colored in, and then jet it out like that. And then add to it. So there's his tie, okay? Oh, he's so cute. Now the next step is we're going to take the brown, dark brown, which I think that was black. That looks, no, that's brown. And we're going to, a lighter brown, I'm sorry, and we're going to take this, oh wait, no, take that back. We still need to draw his tail. I don't want to forget that. So with his tail, you're going to take your marker and you're going to draw an oval shape. Okay? Actually, it looks more like a teardrop, doesn't it? Like a part of a teardrop. And then once you have that, you're going to draw these lines here. Wonder if I could pull this up just a little bit. Draw these lines. So 1, 2, that. And then after you have that, you're going to do it the opposite way. Like that. Now we got his tail. Okay, I feel better about that now. Next, take your lighter brown and we're going to start drawing fur on it. So next step is fur, and I'm using my chisel tip for this. Ooh, missed a spot. It doesn't have to be any special anything, you know, just however. Just do it all the way around. All right. Then I'm going to go back with the tiny marker and I'm going to do even littler marks. So it looks like different types of hair, different. There we go. Different sizes. This is turned out so cute. All right. Alrighty. Now I got that. And if you have a neck at all, you can do that. Next step. We're going to do our tail. So start kind of coloring it in. You don't have to color it a lot. Just give it a little bit of the brown. Because we're going to take the pencil or the white pen, whatever you have, and we're going to make this look even better. We're going to accent it. Now you need to color your clothing, okay? And since my little one has this little yellow and greeny clothes, I'm going to do the same for this one so they match, okay? And I'm going to do maybe one stripe. The other one has 2 stripes. I'll do 1 stripe for this one. And a green. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'll do the clothing green on this one. The other one I did more yellowy clothing. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'm going to color this whole thing in. green now that I put my one stripe on. Now you can color yours whatever color you want. It's up to you. There we go. I might have to go back over that with black because it's not, the little tie isn't showing up that well right now. It's okay, it's fixable. Of course, these alcohol markers do dry lighter, so. And then for the pants, you know, I was gonna do a gray, so I have a gray here. Okay. All right. Next step. Once we've got that, we're going to take our white pencil or our white pen, and I'm going to try both of them because I haven't tried the white pencil on it, so I want to try both. And I want to go over this again because this is not dark enough for me. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I had to make some of the stuff darker. Not good enough for me. I want you to really be able to see it, you know. Okay. And then I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to go along that stripe that I made. All right. Ready for the magic. This is the magic. All right, next step is to start adding our lines, okay? So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to start drawing on the top of that. See how the top of it, the top line, that's what I'm doing. So on all of those little checks that we did, put white lines on it. Now, if you have a white pen, that's great too. This pencil is actually working really well. In case you all were wondering, it is a Faber-Castell, I guess that's how you say that. And I bought it at Michael's. It's a good one. And then once you have that, next step is to bring it down. So if you see one side, I'm going to bring them down. So it's kind of like a V shape, right? And that's what it should look like. Next, you're going to outline your things here. See how I did that? So if you want, you can outline around the tail of the beaver. It really makes it stand out. And then you're going to start outlining the rest of it. So you're going to follow the little black lines that you drew. And then right here, you could color this in if you want. That's the collar. Now with this one, I took my white pen and I just put lines, which I think is actually really cute. And so maybe I will do that with this one because I want it to match. Okay. And then I'm going to go around that too, around the collar, because I want that to be defined. Now, if I don't like this, I'll go back over it with my pen. But I think it looks all right. Okay. And then same for the tie. Add some little accents to the tie. And the same for the stripe there. I'm going to add some stuff to that. The pockets. So basically you're just adding white to all this. And for the belt, you just basically want everything defined. Okay, And then if you have a white pen or white paint or whatever, I don't think I could do this with the pencil because I don't think it'll really show up. But I like to put little dots on the eyes to make them look like, more like eyes, like a glare on their eye. That didn't really show up too well on that one. This one did. That one looks pretty good. Probably should have looked at that when I did it. Alright, and that's what I got. Next step, I'm going to pull this out so you can see the whole thing. Next step, we're going to do our decoration around the paper. Pick out what color you want. I am going to do green again because I have green and yellow on this one, and I really liked it because it matches the clothing. And so you're just going to take it and you're going to do whatever you want. You could do curly Q. You could do something like curly Q's. That. You could do scallops, which is what I'm going to do because I love the scallops. Whatever. You could even just do an outline around it where you just outline it like this. All the way around. It's up to you. But I'm going to do the scallops because I already did that with the other one. So just scallops all the way around. Like so. Till you get done. When you get to the corners, like it's okay if it's not perfect. You get to the corners, you want your corner to look like that. Okay? So that line goes to the corner, and then you start from there and keep going. Go. Keep on moving down. And then I'm going to add a little extra color to it because I think that's cute. Probably some yellow accent to it. Go. All right, there's that so far. And then yellow. Go. All the way around. Now, when you're finished, you don't want to forget to sign your art. Every artist needs to sign their art when they're finished. This is takes a little bit of time, but in the end, it's rewarding when you see your finished project. And then I'm going to take a black or a dark brown, probably dark brown, and I'm going to sign my name. All right, sorry about the camera moving. Okay, hey everybody, I'm finished. We're finished, we did it. This is our finished project. So we did this little beaver portrait, super cute. I hope you all had fun. I had fun making it. Here is both of them that I've done. If you want any information on City Museum, go to citymuseum.org. All our info's on there about tickets and so forth. Any events or special things we're doing will also be on there. Follow us on Facebook, like us, share us. We love that. Until tomorrow, 11 o'clock. See you then.